CBA is predicting 5.1% growth in 2022. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee and celebrate the good news. CBA is predicting growth of 5.1% in 2022. Don't worry about Omicron, don't worry about anything. The economy is rocketing right back to the moon, everyone. Now, before we have a look at this article from Yahoo Finance, let me just bring up the GDP, and we can see there the recession. The first recession we had in 28 years, and they're predicting next year we'll have growth of 5.8%, guys. Equal to that insane crash that we had in the recession. There you go. So, CBA thinks the Aussie economy will grow at twice the normal rate. And I wonder how much of that is going to influence the call for more migrants into the country. So, this year has been plagued with coronavirus concerns, lockdowns, a massive global economic recovery, and then more lockdowns. So, with just a few days left of 2021, CommSec Chief Economist Craig James gave his predictions for the year ahead. James said the take-up of vaccines across the country has allowed us to enter the living with COVID phase of the recovery, which will help propel the economy next year. The Australian economy is in good shape heading into 2022. The economy may have grown 4.4% in 2021 and is expected to lift another 5.1% in 2022, James said. Normal growth is around 2.5%. So 5.1% would represent a large rebound. It is because of this, James has predicted that inflation, wages, and unemployment will all be in the Reserve Bank's target band by December 2022. The cash rate remains at a record low of 0.1%. The Reserve Bank doesn't see that change until 2023 at the earliest, James said. But CBA economists believe the necessary prerequisites for a rate hike, covering inflation, wages, and unemployment, will be met in the December quarter of 2022. However, rising inflation is still a cause for concern after lockdowns interrupted supply chains and prices started pushing higher. Omicron is a new challenge, and most likely there will be fresh challenges awaiting in 2022. With economies reopening, central banks and governments are starting the process of winding back the extraordinary amount of financial and monetary stimulus, he said. It is not just the fact that a process of normalization is underway, it is also the concern about inflation. Rolling shutdowns and lockdowns hit manufacturing production, reducing the amount of available goods, while consumers also opened up their wallets wanting to spend their extra cash. As a result, prices are rising. Central banks initially thought that the spike in consumer prices would be temporary, owing to supply disruptions and pent-up demand in lockdowns, James said. But policy chiefs have since backpedaled from labeling price rises as transitory, with annual inflation rates hitting multi-decade highs, well in excess of the central bank's target of around 2%. So there we have it, everyone. Predictions from the CBA of 5.1% growth. Let's have a bit of a talk about this one. So what do you all think? Do you think we'll see 5.1% growth next year? Do you think inflation and wages will drive up? Will the Reserve Bank step in to mitigate this? Or will they finally, for the first time ever, get it in their target for a prolonged period? Maybe they'll be happy. Their goals will be achieved. How about you? Have you felt this last year, has the economy been good for you or been bad for you? It really is a two-speed economy. Certain people have been affected. They've been hit hard, and it's usually those in the lower socioeconomic band. It's the people who aren't the white-collar workers. While the white-collar workers who can work from home, who aren't affected by lockdowns, if anything, they've saved money because they haven't had to go to the office. They've saved money because they haven't had to drive around as much or jump through all these hoops. I've had meetings at home with clients where I could just rock up, here I'm wearing my shorts and thongs. It's awesome, guys. It's all costs that people save. I had my first ever meetings with clients with project teams entirely remotely, startup meetings. Normally you'd have to drive there, have the meeting, that's half an hour to an hour there, half an hour to an hour back, 1 or 2 hour meeting, where it can all be done remotely. So that's a positive change. And you may not think that's much, but it adds up. Every time you make a trip, there's a bit of petrol, there's another expense, there's another cost. Otherwise, we can do it remotely. So it just shows you there's been quite a divide. people who work physical jobs where they have to be on site, sometimes if they're in retail, they've been closed down, they've copped it harder. So hopefully the economy will return to normal. Hopefully we will see Omicron will be nature's way of addressing this illness, and humanity will adapt. I suspect it'll take some time for the politicians to catch up and for the bureaucrats to catch up, and that's just the way it is, everyone. If you want government to be faster, I don't think that's actually possible in any means at all. I think we need to make governments smaller so they have less capability of intervening in our lives. That's what I'd advocate for. And hopefully coming at the next election, we'll see people vote like that, at least for the first time. Now for some good news, I want you to watch this video here about our sensible Chief Health Officer here in Queensland speaking about how Omicron is going to be endemic, guys. Okay? Something sensible from these people. Great to hear. A good end to 2021, everyone. Next year will be good.